Good morning, guys, and welcome back at long last to dusting off Warlord Saga of the Storm. Featuring my favorite warlord in the game, Sir Robert the Vigilant. Now, my goal was to try to, make one of these videos once a week. Occasionally, I would take a week break, but just recently, my computer actually died, and it didn't take all that long to get it fixed. But it was really depressing because I'm usually really good about backing stuff up. I did lose an episode of dusting off Andalwick, actually, the monk, and that's okay. I can redo that. The real demoralizing part was I did an interview with Vladimir Oriana, I think is how you pronounce his name, about classic L5R. It was such a great discussion. A lot of interesting things he showed me, strategies he had, deck lists he showed me, and I was about a quarter of the way through editing it, and I lost everything on it, which, yeah, that's my fault. And so I did get this fixed, and it's been fixed for a while, but I was just so depressed. Not depressed is the wrong word. I was just demoralized, so I'm just like, why even try? But no, it's time to get back in the saddle. And what better way to do that than with Sir Robert the Vigilant? One of the first Free Kingdoms warlords made. I believe he's actually the second one, because I think Logan came out in those pre-saga decks, yes. Because I think there's a version of him that doesn't even have a skill bonus. So, we're not talking about him. We're talking about Sir Robert the Vigilant. You may have noticed, too, because I've mentioned this guy quite a bit. It's no secret that if you've been watching, he is my favorite warlord. This version of the card this was done by Jared Race. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. This dude's awesome. Basically, he was taking commissions. I don't know if he still does, but he was taking commissions on warlord cards, and he'll make custom versions. I guess technically they'd be considered proxies at this point, although he is an official artist for Kingswood Games, so I don't know about that. But basically, I told them, what I wanted. I wanted this image here of. I think I have the actual just image without the card text on it. When I was first playing Robert back in pre-Saga, it was him leading a bunch of warlords, and this is basically what I wanted. He did have an alternate that he thought might work. I still liked this idea more, and I think he just killed it with this. Robert sitting there, studying the army. You have the freaking gigantic Angel Uriel. You have Tarek. You have Logan. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see him. You have Rabina Zahn. And the tattered banner of the Free Kingdoms. I freaking love this, but this is awesome. But so Sir Robert the Vigilant is he's a 5th level Free Kingdoms fighter. He's good. He is the Duke of Andover. Interestingly enough, he is one of the I believe the first warlord who had 3 melee strikes. You did have characters, like you had Count Damian, who was not a warlord, but he had 3 strikes. Not many characters. I guess Volante had 3 strikes. Yeah. But I think he was the only warlord for a while that had that many. So he's got a +7 and 2 +3s, 14 armor class. It's a little on the low side, but whatever. +7 skill, 3 hit points. All he does, actually not all he does, because there's so many different ways you can play this guy. You may bring Free Kingdoms characters higher than the 3rd level into play as if they were 1 level lower. This did not used to say Free Kingdoms characters. This used to just say you can bring characters higher than the 3rd level, and that led to the Sir Robert and his Merry Men deck, which was basically it was Robert and a bunch of warlords, and it was just like, yeah, because back then the loyalty penalty wasn't, you didn't ever play stunned. You entered play 1 rank higher, and so he offset that. Can't do that anymore, but that's so the really important thing about Robert's ability is. This means you can play level 5s without needing to necessarily play level 4s, which is most of what I do with him. You can do a lot of other things with them, but in my opinion, the reason I like him so much is I like playing big characters. Again, back when I had him, I had no money. I was a broke high school kid, and a bunch of people, for the game stores when I would go to, they would be like, someone would be like, hey, give that kid does anybody have an extra Tarek? And that's how I got my first Tarek. Was just someone's like, yeah, he's a warlord. I only need 1, and I have like 6 of them, so. Repeat that across a lot of these warlords. It was great. Warlord community is so freaking awesome. But a lot of other decks, actually most other decks, if you're playing level 5s, you need to consistently have a way to create a 4th rank in order to bring them into play. Robert just doesn't worry about that at all. He just says, I don't need to do that. I can just, my first opening action can be to play level 5, which is every time a level 5 freak comes out, I immediately go, okay, is this going to make it into my Robert deck? It's not always a yes, but a lot of times it's a yes. So, but he also has 3 melee strikes, meaning he's pretty choppy, and it's freak, so getting him to the front is trivial. It's really, really easy to do. So you can do those two things, and the interesting thing is they both complement each other, and they also push you into both of those two directions if you want to lean into them. So in this version of the deck, we are actually, Robert is never leaving rank 5 if I have anything to say about it. He's just going to sit there and be the general. His strikes should really not ever come into play. His kind of low defensive stats also should hopefully never come into play, but sometimes they do. So we've got Sir Robert in rank 3. In rank 2, we have 2 copies of Bakbone Bala, and then in front we have 2 copies of Lear Militia and a single copy of Giassen Fret. So there are a lot of different ways you can start, Robert. You can, instead of the Bakbo, double Bakbo, you can run Bakbo and Borgen Ferris to get you to kind of reliably put steeds in your hands. I'm not doing that because there aren't any steeds in this deck. You can definitely play steeds. I think it's definitely viable. But in this case, just, I don't think this deck really needs them, at least not the way I'm playing this. It is worth noting that I'm probably going to be making a very, very major change to this deck in the near future because as my play group is slowly expanding, as I start to play, online with my friends and stuff, I think this deck would be kind of a negative play experience in its current form. So I don't want that, so I'm going to end up changing this. But for the moment, double Bakbo, Bakbo Bala, you spend him, you switch places with another character in your army. I believe this is worded slightly differently. I think it has to target a character in your formation. I think it also has to be your character. I don't know. Yeah, I did not come prepared for this, okay? It's been a while since I recorded. And then the Giassen Fret, when she dies, she can move somebody forward. Yeah, she's awesome. I think it's also perfectly viable to start 3 of her. If you're going to be playing Robert in a blitzy way and you want him up punching, 3 of her, and then the Bakbo, you don't even need Steeds for that. All your movement's right there. So, and the Lear Militias, these guys are also kind of assholes. So yeah, these might be coming out too. Lear Militia's level 1. He has slightly below level 1 stats. That's fine. His stats don't really matter. He has the spend react before a Lear Militia dies. Shuffle him into your deck. Search your deck for a level 1 non-Lear Militia Free Kingdoms character. Show it to your opponent and put it in your hand. There's a lot going on with this. One, this stops, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this guy in my faction overview. That came out like a year ago or something. I don't know. But anything that would trigger on killing a character doesn't work on Lear Militia because he doesn't generally die unless you are okay with him dying. As long as he's ready and he can do his spend react, yeah. They can't leveled off of this. Bithcrid can't do stuff off of this. Just, this is... Yeah, so it stops all that stuff, but in addition, this is putting a typical sequence of events is they're spending a guy to attack, to make a melee strike, they hit a Lear Militia, he shuffles into your deck, you grab a level 1 character, and then you play it, and they haven't really done anything to your formation. So, it's not quite the same if he is the only character in the formation, because you will have to fix your ranks. I mean, you'll have to fix your ranks even if there is another character and the rank is illegal, but a lot of times this just stalls, and this deck is not especially fast. Actually, this deck is kind of slow. It's kind of plodding. Yeah, so that's the start there, and there are only a couple level 1 characters in this deck. There's actually only 2 other ones. There is a second copy of Giassen Fret. A lot of times this is what you're going to grab. This is just, again, it's more movement, and yeah, you can grab that. The other one is Brother Domini. There's 1 copy of this. I don't really think it's necessary to run more than 1 of this in this deck. You can definitely do so. I don't... You can run a different start and start the Brother Dominis. You can do Brother Domini, Spencer Latham, the classic start. You can do Domini with... I don't know, Domini with something else. Just one of him, and you can grab him and when you need him, and hopefully when he doesn't die, when it's a safe time to play him, but... that's all the Lear Militias are going to grab. They can't grab themselves, so... we also have a single copy of Temple of Lore. This also, I don't think, is strictly necessary in here, and you can't grab this with Lear Militia, because 1, it's not a freak, and 2, it's... Yeah, it's not a freak. But this is just a thing that gives all your characters buffs equal to their level. It makes your entering play kind of wonky, but Robert fixes that quite well. And the really, really cool thing about Temple of Lore in Freaks is if one of your opening actions is you Bakbo to switch something higher level, like say your first, this is just, this is not rare when this happens. First action, you play level 5, they do their thing. Second action, you switch that level 5 with the Bakbo. Bakbo is now in rank 4 or rank 5. In this case, it's going to be in rank 4. And then next turn, you drop the temple, it hopefully doesn't die, and then you switch it with the Bakbo back in rank 4, and good luck getting to it back there. They might be able to get it back there, but if they can't, that bonus sticking around, that could be obnoxious. So, actually, I think that's all the support. I think everything else in here is just murder. Yes, I guess murder and support. So, so we got a copy of Sir Thomas of Selenar. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The hero, the epic hero. 3 copies of Caro. So Sir Thomas is pretty awesome. If you stand next to him, your melee strikes inflict an additional wound. You can remove him from the game to have all your guys do an additional wound with melee strikes until the end of your next turn. That's a very, very long duration. He's also got fairly good stats, 3 strikes, pretty good armor class. Caro is also a very, very interesting character. She's level 4. She can interplay in rank 3 if you want to with Robert. After Caro enters play, target a character in your front rank who has not permanently gained a hit point. The target permanently gains 1 hit point. Now, a lot of times, this is not super useful on certain things, but, like, if you play that on, I don't know, Domini, I guess it would help him keep him alive slightly longer, but putting this on, a character who's already hefty, oh, that could be obnoxious right there. Also, decent stats, 2 hit points, it's planar, it's got a +4 and a +1. You can actually also, if things get really bad and Robert has to go to the front, this can help keep him alive a little bit. His armor class usually sucks, though, and a lot of the gear in here he can't really equip, so I think that's all the level 4s. Oh, yes, and then a smorgasbord of level 5s, all the awesome goodness. I'm not going to go over each of these, because all you need to know about most of these guys is they have high stats, and they're level 5, but you don't have to play them in rank 5. So, you've got Tabisa out of 4th edition. She's a rogue. Rivith Yao, who I thought was a monk, but no, she just doesn't like items. Raimi Minaku, also out of 4th edition, out of City of Gold, who also swings a freakishly large amount of times. Him getting a 4th hit point is pretty cute. Nora Tristram, the Paladin, who punches things and then buffs your guys, including herself. It's also not once per turn. Also, Charisma is so great now under the 5th edition wording. She's awesome. Her armor class is amazing. Hola Haben, oh, this is the troll card right here. Paladin, if you toss it from your hand, it gets removed from the game before it enters your discard pile. But if she's in your discard pile, meaning somebody's killed her, all your freaks get +1 hit point. Oh, it never happens until it does. And then all your guys have an extra hit point. Oh, that's so great there. Brogan, who just, I believe his 4th edition flavor text is like gangway coming through. Your other characters can shove him forward. You don't really need to do that. If you don't have a Bach board, you just face plant him forward. He's got great armor class, good staying power. Headsman Brock, he's got defend, he's got 3 strikes. He's got an ability, a spend order that I do not believe I have ever actually used. I don't think I've ever used that. With what's her name? With Ada being returned to her original printing, and I could see that. Although that seems like an odd thing to include in here, just to make Headsman Brock do, whatever. 3 copies of Patroness Caro out of Stolen Destinies. This is the freaking alternate version of Caro. So, again, great stats. Armor class, not so much, but that's okay. She's planar. She actually is very, very interesting, and there was a very odd interaction I had with her the last time I played this deck. Actually, maybe it wasn't the last time. It was one of the times I played this deck. So Patroness Caro, when she enters play, she has this interplay react. Until end of your turn, your characters have +1 hit point while in the first rank of your army. It is important that this is not Free Kingdom exclusive. So any of your characters, whether they are freaks, whether it's the Temple of Lore, if it's in your rank 1, it's got an extra hit point. So it does give you quite a bit of staying power, at least for the turn. The interesting interaction this had was actually with the Lear militias. I don't know if it's just because this never came up, or if I don't want to say I was playing it wrong. Maybe I was playing it wrong. But so basically, my opening action was to play Patroness Caro, and she used her react. And then my opponent, he was like, huh. He said, okay. And then so he punched a Lear Militia once, and I was like, okay. And then I thought about it. And it was actually really brilliant on his part, because Lear Militia gets that extra hit point until the end of the turn. But if I use his ability at the end of the turn, if I'm understanding the sequence of events correctly, that card is the whatever level 1 I grab with that is going to be in my hand, meaning it's basically one less card I'm drawing on the next turn. So it's a little bit of Scornergy there, but yeah, Patroness Carol, she's awesome. The amount of times I've been playing it something blitzy, and Patroness Carol just giving all my guys that extra hit point for the turn, it just slowed everything to a crawl. It was great. Yeah, it was trolling, and it was awesome. Ooh, and then out of Into the Accord Lands, a copy of Bright Wing, the dragon. Brightwing, I think, is going to be really, really good in this deck. I haven't played this deck with Brightwing yet, but Cleric, I think currently the only Cleric in this deck, right? I don't have Paladins. I know, I guess Bakbo is a Cleric. He doesn't count. So Brightwing can't equip items, which sucks because there's a lot of items in this deck, but whatever. It flaps his wings once per turn, but really, this ability here, limited order, target your character, heal the target. The target may journey. Now, the heal part may not be that big of a deal if your stats are, but some of these guys get kind of nuts, and the fact that this is healing that also moves them, that doesn't have a range limitation, and that I don't even have to spend to do it, so I can go punch stuff instead. Oh, I think this is going to be awesome, so whatever. All traces of corruption must be purged from the land. You know what? Yeah. Well, speaking of traces of corruption, now... This is totally unnecessary. This is actually not even just unnecessary. I don't think this is good, but I think it's cool. We have a single copy of the Overlord Sir Tython in here. I mean, I could play Zaxxon as well. This is the level of overkill, if you can actually get this guy into play, is so unnecessary. But it's so cool when this guy, when this guy gets on like a Medusan Warrior, it's just, yeah. And now the fact that the Brightwing can heal him too, oh man. So yeah, again, not good, I don't think, until it is. You don't need it, but he might come out too, whatever. So that's the character base. Again, you may notice this is basically just drop level 5s and just throw them at your opponent and hope they can't deal with them. A lot of times they can't, especially once you start gearing them up. Now, there are only a couple actions in this deck. I think that's one of the things that's going to change, and I'll get to that a little bit later. We've got 3 copies of meat at the end because I like drawing cards. We have 3 copies of Battle Plans. This is odd movement. I actually really like this card. To spend order, it's level 5. Now, interestingly enough, Robert does not have to be the one to play this. He's probably going to be the one to play this because he doesn't really do anything. It's a tactics action. You spend order. This fighter must succeed with a perception check, DC 12, to move any number of characters you control forward or backward 1 rank in any order you choose. So Robert needs a 5 to make that, so he's going to make it most of the time. He will fail it sometimes, but it's the movement's nice, but it's also not really all that necessary. So, yeah, again, other characters can play this. Tython can play this, and as long as he doesn't roll a 1, he makes it. Actually, Robert might be... Oh, no, I guess Riveth Yao has higher skill. She's got +8. She only needs a 4. Whatever. Then, we've also got 3 copies of just 2 copies. Why is there not a 3rd copy in here? Of Commit the Reserve. So this is a tactics action as well. You choose a level higher than 1 until end of turn. Reduce the entering rank of your characters of the chosen level by 1. This stacks with Robert. So if you name level 5, your level 5s then are playing rank 3. They maneuver to rank 2, and next turn, yeah, hopefully they're ready to go. So... you can also use this. There are a couple other things. Actually, I think that there may only be one other thing in here. But this could also make it a little bit easier to play Tython if you really want to. Like, again, it's not really necessary, but that's fine. And that is it for the actions. So the rest of the deck is just toys to throw on these guys just to make them as obnoxious and durable as possible. The only thing that's not doing that, I think... yes. Is a single copy of Braxton's Signet. This, again, this is mostly, I think, actually, I think this was the 3rd Commit the Reserve. This is really just to help play Tython. You can use this on other things, and it is actually possible to drop level 5s into rank 1 in this deck. Like, you can just do it. So, but we got one of those. I guess this would, although I don't think Robert usually throws this on because he'd have to move backward, and I don't usually do that, but this would make it easier for him to play Battle Plans. So again, just like the characters, we have items. We've got 2 copies of Spirit Render because Planar is freaking terrible and I hate it. I hate it so much. I've also got a copy of the Martyr's Blade in here because I hate Planar because it's the worst thing ever when you cannot roll an even number to save your life for like 10 games in a row. Yeah. So actually, this also gives you Defend, which is pretty cool. So yeah. 3 copies of Medusan War Gear. It is classless, so Tabisa being a rogue, she can still equip this. +8 attack, +8 armor class. Really, you don't need much more than this on you, and a lot of stuff needs like like, they need really high numbers to hit you. Yeah, we've got a copy of Cartwright Agent, because this is pretty cool too. It buffs everybody else in the rank with you, and it gives you an extra strike. That's pretty awesome. One copy of Sir Tithan's Shield for more hit points and armor class. A copy of Andover's Quill for more hit points, armor class, attack, all the goodies there. Again, these are level 10. Now, you don't have to use Robert's ability. It's usually you do, but like a lot of times the sequence of events is, again, I'll play level 5 in rank 4, and then I'll play level 5 in rank 5, and I'll start throwing some of these toys on him, because, yeah. So, we got a copy of the King's Lady, because getting extra strikes and doing additional wound is great. Actually, this may have been changed too. I'm trying to remember. I think this is into the Accord Lands. Oh, I should have done some more research on this, but whatever. Then we got 3 copies of Drac Mail for more hip. Again, this card is fascinating in here, okay? It's probably fascinating in other stuff. I don't actually play this in too many things, because this is a very wonky card. So it's level 8. This character has +2 hit points, and let me find, I think the Epic Edition is the most, yeah. This character has +2 hit points and is considered an additional character for determining illegal ranks. So again, as far as the whole, like, if you need to stall, because again, this deck is not fast at all, so if you need to stall, you play, you know, at level 5 in rank 4, you throw it, we'll say Patroness Caro, because we're talking about stalling here, although, again, your odds of drawing her are not super great, but there's 3 copies of her. You drop Patroness Caro, she buffs your front rank, you throw the Drac Mail on her, and she face palms up to rank 1, and she benefits from her own ability while she's there, so she's sitting there at planar with, what is that, 6 hit points for the turn? Like, you can hide behind that for a long time. You got to be very dedicated to get through that. If she somehow survives, that's great. And I have had games, as much as I hate the planar trait, I mean, I don't think I've had quite the... I don't think anybody has suffered a string of odd numbers against me as much as I have against them, but I still have hid behind this for a very, very long period of time. So... and then just 3 copies of Tome of Champions for, again, extra hit points, extra armor class, extra attack, extra level, extra skill, extra everything. So, just looking at everything there, you can probably tell this deck is not particularly creative. It's not particularly interactive either. Which is one of the reasons why it's probably going to be undergoing a change, because I love playing it, but it doesn't really do anything except what I just said. There's no like, oh, it's a great play. It's just play level 5s, give them crap that makes them hard to kill, and have them fall forward. And the games can sometimes take a while. You don't really need, this is the thing, you don't really need more than 1 or 2 of these characters. I mean, you know, Brogan, who's got a Medusan War Gear on, he's AC 25. If he has, we'll say he has the Drac Mail on too, and he's got 5 hit points, like, yeah, it's going to take you a while to get through that. I mean, I'm not saying it's unbeatable, because it's not. I've lost with this plenty of times. But it's just like, he just sits there until he's ready, and then he kills 3 things, or he makes 3 strikes, and you do it again next turn. And again, once you start getting several of these in play, it becomes a slog for your opponent, unless they have a way to bypass things, which is, truthfully, most of the way I lose with this. Is somebody, it's typically somebody stealths in, and they get me, or they have a way to shoot me from, even though I'm in rank 3 and I can't get away, they'll have a way to shoot me and I die. Or I get Medusan Lord's Gambit to death, something like that. So, now, what I am almost certainly going to end up doing as far as those changes is, I think, to make this a little bit less... a little less plotting, I guess, because that's probably the best word I can use to describe this deck, is I'm probably going to drop practically all the items, and I'm just going to replace them with things that move you. So instead of this being slow plotting and you can't hit me, it's just going to be, I am blitzing these characters as fast as I can up to rank 1. I'm going to play, like, Lead to the Front. I'm going to play Slow March. I'm going to play, what is the one that it's a react to you entering play and you move. I can't remember the name of it. And if you're a ranger, you can do something. Could play that. I could play sudden reversal maybe, because it's kind of movement. Stubborn, all these things just to move forward. And it's just going to be, I play a character and he's within a couple actions, he's at the front and he's swinging. They won't be anywhere near as effective because they won't have all these items on them, which is, I think, maybe a good thing, because, you know, for newer players, if they don't understand, if they don't have the tools to deal with that, it's like, it's not going to be entertaining for either of us, whatever. Excuse me. So that is what I'm doing with Robert now. Now, one of the things that I love about Robert is, historically speaking, well, maybe not historically speaking, a lot of the time, the higher your level goes, the the more valuable you become, like your rarity becomes greater. There are some characters that are fairly high level that are not rare, and they're not really all that difficult to get. At least at the time I'm recording this, they're not that hard to get. Hex Starsmore is a common. This guy can be a freaking wrecking crew. Okay, his stats are okay. He's got 3 strikes. His armor class is really low. He is a barbarian, but he has a Daybreak ability. If it's the first turn, Hex Starsmore's melee strikes are critical successes. You can have a lot of fun with this guy. So again, probably in this case, I don't start the Lear Malicious. It's probably just straight 3G Assassins, a Bakbo, and a Borgin, and you drop this guy into rank 3. Hopefully you get a steed, but you rush him up to the front, and you don't even really need to roll with him. Actually, I'm not even sure you are supposed to roll with him. If it is the first turn, Hex Starsmore's melee strikes or critical successes, I don't even think you roll the dice with that. But you can play things like Bloodthirsty. You could play anything that generates strikes and it just auto hits things. In fact, the weapon Sword of Chaos, I believe, got removed from Ancients because if it got on a Hex Starsmore, the game ended. He just went, I keep swinging, all my strikes are critical successes, which generate more strikes, which are also critical successes, which generate more strikes, and the game was over. So that was funny. Even without that, plenty great, and he's a common. We have I Am Hotelin, 4 strikes. This guy maybe should still go back in because this guy's a lot of fun. 3 strikes. His armor class and hit points are, but it's not 3, sorry. 4 strikes, 4 plus 1, so that's great. Sir Eric Kaizen, not especially amazing on his own, but your other good characters in this rank get +3 attack when performing melee strikes against evil characters. It looks like that's not going to be, going forward, that's not going to be as common as it used to be, because back in the day, most of the characters in the game were evil. It's like more than half. I want to say it was like 60 to 75% of the characters in the game were evil, because most of the factions are evil. And so a lot of times Eric had no problem giving everybody that bonus, and that bonus is pretty nice. Still, he's a decent character, and he's easy to get. Then you had a couple other weird multi-class characters. I only ran one of these. Ruth Gwendolyn. She's a cleric fighter, priestess of Ishara. Her stats are not especially good, but she enters play as if she were level 4, but because it's Robert, she can enter play in rank 3. Ruth has +5 armor class when she's the only character in her rank. I actually used that, and it actually was pretty good. So her being base AC 20 when she's by herself, it's not invincible, but again, if you gave her like a scale mail or a cloak of protection, which is all I could afford back then, yeah, plenty durable to give you time to bring other reinforcements into play. So, and then Khalid Al-Ashrad. This guy is, I think, kind of bad, but he would enter play in rank 3 as well. He basically does have level 4 stats. His attacks are okay. His armor class is, yeah. He has 3 classes, though. He's a fighter, rogue, and a wizard, so you might get some mileage out of that. I don't really know what you would do with that, but also very easy to get, and anything that benefits from Robert, you know what, it's an option. You can also kind of do a thing with other types of fighters. I believe at one point I was doing lycanthropes. I had Timoris Yassar, I had Barrett Yassar. Oh, I want to say it's Narrow Yassar, the guy who makes everybody into Rangers and Rangers into Lycanthrope, whatever that guy was. Timoris, I think, is the best of that lot, although Barrett's pretty good too. Timoris has 3 strikes. He's got 15 armor class. He just has this really interesting react. After he kills an opposing character, permanently get +5 attack, an extra melee strike, or +1 hit point. He can only gain each bonus once, but he can gain them like through a string of strikes when he performs an attack, which is usually what happens with them. Usually go for the attack first, and then the extra strike second, and then the hit point third. And he's freaking great at that point. He's got 4 plus 5s and 3 hit points. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. And then you can play all the lycanthrope items too, which is pretty interesting. You can also do a barbarian thing. Now, there aren't as many barbarians. I believe Rami Minaku is a barbarian. Uther, Killer of Bears, was the original character that people played with Robert. I couldn't play these because I couldn't afford them. He's actually, I think, not even really all that great anymore, which is why, yeah. He's got +8, +3, 15 armor class. He does enter play in rank 3, and there is an interesting thing you can do where instead of playing level 5s, you do play level 4s, because when they enter play in rank 3, I want to say, I have them right here, Thaddeus Bide and Jack Casey. Thaddeus Bide is a wizard. You can spend him to perform a skill check. It's DC 18. You probably want to be starting the Adas with this guy. It's successful to move a character in this rank forward or backward 2 ranks. This moves them from rank 3 to rank 1. It doesn't require you to draw any actions, and he can do it once per turn. Jack Casey just spends, and to move a character in this rank forward or backward 1 rank, it's really not difficult to get, like, I believe the old War Journal called it like an express lane for your characters to go to the front. So you can do that playing level 4s that are playing rank 3, and I think there is definitely some merit to doing that. I'm just not doing it now. I don't know why this guy's here, Mammoth. I don't know if I've ever played this guy. He's a monster. He's a weirdo. He's got repo. He's not terrible. Actually, he's fairly good. He's got 3 strikes and repos +5. He's an 11. Whatever. Oh, dear. And then the other thing you can do, too... And this, I didn't do this in person, I think, ever. I did do this on Apprentice. There's a... if any of you guys remember the Apprentice days, Apprentice was a program... hopefully I'm not talking down to you guys. For those of you who know, there's a program called Apprentice. It started for playing Magic online. You would join a chat room, and you could play Magic with other people. Back when you sent other people your IP address, I don't think that the untap or whatever that people use, I don't think you have to do that. Back in the day, you sent people your IP address so you could play Magic online. But you can run clerics in this deck too. You can run Vorgern, who I think is actually fairly good. He spends to target a rank in your army, and I believe this also is worded differently. This is the Assassin Strike version. I think the Black Knife versions is different. It's spend order, target a rank in your army until end of your turn. All your characters get +4 AC while in that rank. I think now this is all your Free Kingdoms characters, because I think people were playing this in Belial, and they were like, yeah, that's not acceptable. There's also Garth Drac, who gives you an extra card in your hand, which is freakishly awesome. But having these clerics opens up several things. Obviously, it opens up Mass Blessing and Embolden. I guess you could play Lift Up Your Voices as well, kind of like the way I do in Niobe. Actually, be very similar to that. But in Garth Drac's case, this also opens up access. I was gushing about the healing that Brightwing brings, because it's once per turn healing, which is pretty awesome. It also moves them. But Garth Drac can cast Cure Lethal Wounds. And again, I have done this on Apprentice, and this was before Campaign Edition. So, but I do remember games where I would have a character. It was usually Tarek, I think. Tarek would have Andover's Quill, and I think he had like a Bruntor's Helm on, and someone did whittle him down to like 1 or 2, and then I spent Garth Drac to cast Cure Lethal Wounds, and it fully healed them, and they were like GG, and I'm like, yes, I won a game. So all of a sudden, having access to healing, it doesn't need to be Cure Lethal Wounds. You could play like a bunch of stuff, but having healing backing these guys up too is also potentially a very interesting way to play it. I haven't done that in 25 years, some crazy number like that. So again, I don't know how good that would be. I think it is definitely good. Vorgern I know is great. So it's just, he's taking up a character slot in this deck, and just him doing that +4, I don't think is quite worth it. So I would have to add some other things for him to do, like Sacrifice or something. I don't know. So far, all of this has been talking about playing other characters. If I'm losing my voice, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've talked for this long. There is also the idea, again, of playing Robert as kind of a frontliner. Now, this I don't think is anywhere near as good now, mostly because I think there are Freak Warlords that do it better. I Am Unsullied, I think, does it better practically 100% of the time. He's got more strikes. For the most part, they're not necessarily better, but he's got so many. He's got like 5 strikes he can make total, which is freaking awesome. He's a paladin, so he could play, what is the name of that card? Not True Strike. Whatever that fighter action is, when you hit something by like 10 or more, everyone in your rank gets a bonus equal to your level, to their stats, and paladins get +1 level for performing it. I mean, that's great with I Am Unsullied. So, but you can play Robert as just a frontliner, capitalizing on those 3 strikes, and then just using his ability. I mean, that's a case where Vorgern would shine, because I don't need all these other characters. Just, as my first action, I have Vorgern to get my AC up to 18. Much safer at AC 18 than AC 14. Second action, Vorgern a second time with a second one. Give him a full play, give him a scale mill, give him a cloak, give him whatever, and just have him start chopping things. That's what I did in the very, very beginning when I first got him in the first starter deck that I got that had Sir Robert the Vigilant in it, the Free Kingdoms Legion deck. And I believe no, I don't have that box anymore. I believe the box itself referenced you doing that. Like the freaks don't want to risk Robert on the front lines, but they have to if they have any hope of success or any hope of surviving or whatever. So, yeah, I think definitely the less optimal way to play him. You can also make kind of a switch version of that deck. Have him go to the front just to buy you some time, punch a couple things to try to slow them down, and then as soon as you've got the other fighting characters ready, you move him back, and hopefully he never die. Hopefully he's in the back and he's safe. So yeah, maybe I'll do that instead. That actually sounds like kind of a lot of fun. Instead of just rushing all these other characters, I could rush Robert. And there are a whole bunch of new items and new toys that I can give him that might be kind of cool. Huh. Good problems, I guess. Good decisions to make. So, yep, so we are back. Thank you for checking this out, guys. God bless you, and I'll catch you in the next video.